Pinedale, I met another hiker who was losing his current hiking partner, sounded like had a similar pace to me, and really wanted a hiking partner. So we quickly agreed to hiking together, and I was super excited to be continuing on up the mountain. I also downloaded some Disney music, which really helped fuel my energy. Good morning. It's cold again. I'm really glad I insisted that we don't go all the way up to the peak. The peak is over 11,000 feet. And it's like, we're gonna be right to the top right when it's time to stop for the day. So we decided to stop a few miles early so we wouldn't be over 11,000, and everything's covered in frost this morning. Like, sleeping bag's all wet, tarp is kind of frozen. Yay, it's almost July. Heading up the mountain the next morning, I quickly realized that the upset stomach I had from town was not over. I got nauseous, and all the blood reverting to my stomach was making me dizzy, and I just, between the snow and all that, I really slowed down. By the time I reached the peak, I was feeling a whole lot better, but we still kept losing the trail because it was under snow. Right, last 11,000 something elevation peak for the rest of the state. Whew, all downhill from here. I mean, there's still some uphills, but whatever. Pretty soon my pace picked right back up, and I felt like I was practically flying down the mountain. It looks like there's just a wall ahead. A huge wall. I've already descended quite a bit, but I'm heading down into this huge canyon. After the peak, the other hiker made some comments along the line of, "I'm tired of taking it easy," which totally confused me, but we went ahead and just split up for the next few hours and plan to meet back up at camp. There's so many trees, it's kind of hard to see, but just going through this canyon feels like I'm going through the Black Canyon of the Gunnison or something. Like, the walls just shoot up, and like you can't even tell how far they're dropping down next to me. Nice blue, tealish sort of color. And the camera is not getting the color. The color is like what you'd see in the movies, like in a Narnia movie. Looking up. Ready for it? 3, 2, 1. Bam! I've come so far down the mountain that it's really green here. So many plants. Why snow? At least till tomorrow. Yay, I've got some white columbines. And these ones are just starting to get their beautiful purplish color. It's a beaver. So I was eating dinner over here above the bridge, trying to get away from the mosquitoes. And then I saw the beaver come up to the shore, and I watched him get out. He kind of disappeared into the bushes, and then I heard this noise, so I quickly turned, and there was a deer that had jumped all the way to the edge of the bridge and just stopped and looked at me like, oh, what do I do? Okay, I'm gonna go back. And turned around and went back. So then I turned back to the beaver, and he came out of the bushes with a mouth full of branches and just pulled them back into the water and started eating them. Of course, I forgot my phone, so I had to just go get it, and now he's leaving, but oh yeah, super cool. The next day, the other hiker and I decided to go ahead and just hike separately, and we would meet up later. Typically, I hike a little bit slower than the average through hiker because I like a chance to look around, but then I'll just walk a little longer and throughout the day, and I end up catching up. It's sunny, the flowers are in bloom, it's beautiful scenery, heading back up the mountain. Although I did catch up to the other hiker at one point and almost caught up to him again, he decided I was too slow and didn't want to hike with me any longer. Both days we had managed more miles than he had planned for, so yeah. I hate this. I just want to get to town. There's just so much. So much all over the trail. Just need to rant for a little bit. I'm just really discouraged. You know, I've been having a really hard time out here, and it's like, you know, it would be so much easier if I just had somebody else out here with me. You know, I just want someone to hike with, you know, and then some things are hard, you know, you can commiserate with each other at least, you know, and haven't had that. And so now, like, this morning's like, I'm gonna crush it, I'm gonna hurry to town, I'm gonna do good, and the morning started good, and then the trail just got harder and harder, like going over rocks, and then my phone's like, I don't know where you are. And I'll walk for like 10 minutes and the phone says I haven't moved, and now going through burn zones and logging areas, so I'm just like crawling over all these rocks and slow going, and I didn't have breakfast this morning because it was raining and I left my spoon at the bottom of my pack. So now that I've had lunch, like my emotions are coming back up, which is good. I'm just I went from like, yeah, I can do this, to like obsessing, getting worse emotionally. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I miss my tramway from last year. You know, we'll walk at our own paces. I'll see you at camp tonight. You know, having that, like, being able to see the same face more than once, you know, being able to know that I'm going to see another human that day. I mean, I know I'm going to see humans tonight when I get to town, but just having that familiarity and knowing, you know, we're watching out for each other. You know, I, like, the past 2 days I've been so much happier and more positive, and now that's, you know, like, I'm just so disappointed. And a lot of it's been anger, like, how dare you make me feel so slow. I pushed so hard. You know, I did 28.5 miles yesterday and was feeling good, but it was getting dark and I wasn't gonna go looking for his tent in the dark, so I stopped. Real quick, I know other hikers need to be able to hike at their own paces, but he had made some disparaging comments, and I felt like he lied to me, and, you know, I just wasn't in a good emotional place at that moment. Later that day, I made it into Du Bois, where I had a great time.